Welcome to the natural cycle, where we attempt to solidify the absolute. Please follow along on a nature hike into the talk today. I hope everybody is enjoying the summer and had a great summer solstice. So today's talk, pardon me. Today's talk is, why are the narcissists obsessed with you? If you like the content, you can subscribe and leave a thumbs up. I appreciate it. Helps to support the message. So, the narcissist wants to act like you've done something very wrong to them, and that you have betrayed them or entered into a realm of possibility, like you're a liability to them. The narcissist wants to make you to be the problem. And this is from their obsession with you. They glommed on to you and started to study you because they were fascinated. They wanted to glom on for emotional regulation. Maybe you even narcissistically injured them. And so they eventually become very obsessed with you. And during this obsession, they then become prone to create a problem with you. And generally, because out of their obsession and their glom, they need more than you can supply, and you may not even want to hang out with this person or them. So they obsess about you, and then they're going to create a problem about you. And then that problem will actually be the reason why they obsess. So, if you are, for example, let's just use an attractive woman, for example, because I'm sure attractive women get obsessed about and, all these things all the time. So let's say you're the guy that is obsessing about this woman, and you start to glom on. Eventually the fact that maybe she don't like you is going to become a problem, and you're going to become inimical towards her now. And so this is why the narcissist creates enemies, but originally they're obsessed. And this obsession is ultimately going to be most likely from, some transfixion on that person and need of emotional regulation. And so these people, they're regulating their emotions, and they're obsessing on who they regulate it with. Okay, sorry about the camera. I just did a camping festival, and that's why I'm actually doing this video, because there are a lot of people who are actually obsessed with me, and it has nothing to do with physical attraction. They're actually obsessed with me personally for emotional regulation, and they're scared of what I'm capable of. And this area that I just came into to go to the festival, I have actually worked in quite a bit, and there's quite a bit of controversy and competition on who works here, and it's a very small area, and there's money to be made, but not really a whole bunch of it. And so the narcissistic gang stalkers actually glommed onto me at this festival. The ones where I live came, they followed me up here, which I found to be very interesting. They also organized where I was going to park. They organized who was going to camp by me. It was quite methodical. And so then if you've watched my video, Well Organized or Totally Controlled, you can see that gang stalking is absolutely totally controlled. It has nothing to do with these individual cells. It's a top-down management system of people. And I think, eventually everybody's going to have to maybe join up into the gang stalking thing. Because here where I live, I've been kind of cruising around. Everybody's getting into it now. And even a friend of mine, he kind of does it. He's not a bad person, but he does it almost out of necessity. So I think a lot of this gang stalking and stuff like that is actually coming from necessity from people in their own mind because of fear and to not be like a targeted individual and stalked yourself. And so these people obsess about me, to a certain extent, individuals. And then there are individuals who are perpetrating the gang stalking based off of a top-down order sort of thing coming from, kind of like classy people. Not necessarily people that run the world or whatever, but there's groups of people that really control a lot of the human society. And so anyway, so here's the deal. They obsess about you. They absolutely obsess about you. And what I've realized is like they're spending more time thinking about you. And I actually did this when I was with a girl once. Not that it happens, yeah. But I just obsessed about this girl. This is my early teens and 20s. And I became like infatuated, and I thought about her more than my own life and what I needed to do. And so this is the narcissist. They're obsessing, they're infatuating, they're placing all of their grief on you. And I know, they were, when they showed up, their main interest was to, I did know this, like their obsession is like a girlfriend, like, because that girl, when I was dating her and I obsessed about her, she was obsessing about me. And for example, if I would go out and try to, do something with my friends, she would try to control that and limit it. And so this is the same thing the gang stalkers were doing at this festival. They were following me around and trying to control my interactions with people. And it's like a possessive girlfriend. She doesn't want you getting out of her reins. And so this is the thing. These people followed me up from the place I'm from. Probably already knew I was coming because it's a small town where I'm from. And then they, they stalked around me. So where I parked and where I was camping, they were there. And they just kept the gaslighting thing going at the same time. It became a complete reality warp. And what do you call it? It was just like they were gaslighting me the whole time. And then at the end, they like wanted to show me they were gang stalking me. Like, you didn't know I realized that the whole entire time. And then on top of it, like I was saying, they just want to get there and like mess your life up. And what's sad is they don't really have a life, these people. they're there to do these gang stalking things and all this, and maybe they're getting paid or whatever, or some of the, some of the organized shit, maybe they do get paid, but I'm saying that most of these people don't have no life. They don't actually even have a fun thing, and they think this is all good, like they're serving their family or their community, but they're too uneducated to realize that this is a deconstruction of the constitution. I'm sorry if that's a word. The constituency. This is a desaturation of the constituency of family, the thing you're basically trying to uphold, and its structuring, and individual sovereignty, And so these people don't have individual sovereignty. They don't have individual free will. They don't understand those concepts. And I was going to do another video about this. And this video today is just kind of like a talk. I haven't scripted any of this stuff. I just wanted to get this kind of talked about. I'm going to put the camera up here a little bit so we can... Because this is actually a very beautiful forest I'm in right now. This is a very beautiful area I'm in. Absolutely just gorgeous. The nature here is... some of the most beautiful nature I've ever seen in my life, personally. I love it out here. I'm not going to mention where I'm at because that creates a bunch of controversy when I mention stuff like that. But this area is great, and I grew up out here, and I do love the people. I still have friends out here, despite all these narcissistic gang stalkers and all this stuff. And when I lived out here back in the day, it was a completely different environment, and people, they may have been a little narcissistic and gang stalked and all that. But it was really more family-based and about kind of doing something altruistic and good. So I don't know where that whole consciousness went. And I'm sure these people around here, most of them still do that. But maybe I kind of hit the hit list and shit, so whatever. But, so yeah, they become obsessive about you. And they don't want to, let you live your own life, the narcissist. And they're scared of what you're capable of. I've done a video about that. That's their huge fear. That if they don't control you and create a fabricated, manufactured, assimilated reality for you, you will get the reins of your life and do something that is going to just humiliate the ever-living bejesus out of them. And that could destroy some of these people. They're very... And then also I noticed they're scared of you changing anything. And then, for example, when I came here as a worker, working, I outperformed pretty much everybody I was around, and I do that in my job because I've done it since 2005, and I'm extremely good at it. And definitely, I think, in my industry, I'm one of the best, And I've been continually deplatformed by that, for that, marginalized for that, and the gang stalking, all these things happen especially because people are scared I have ability that they don't. And they kind of keep a cult of, I call it the cult of Barlow. It's really just a kind of cult to keep it the same. They don't want to see anything kind of different. And so going to the point, that is absolutely what they're horrified about me coming up here, is that I'm going to change something. And what's completely ironic about that, and again, let's go into the narcissistic psychology about they got to validate illusions. They believe subjective reality only. They don't like to come into objectivism. The industry is completely falling apart and getting taken over. And it's on its way out, unfortunately. And if they would constitute themselves, I get to rambling. If they would double down with positive ability, schooled, educated people, instead of just creating this cult of Barlow of nepotism, then maybe it could all be something good could happen. But they don't want that. They want to keep a nepotistic stranglehold on this thing up here. And it's a, what do you call it? It has nothing to do with ability. And that's what has destroyed it, to be quite honest. Because the ability is what created it. They don't understand that. It was something that sprung from love, passion, and ability. And now that heritage will be lost with this cult of Barlow BS. Thank you. Anyway, skipping on to the next one. So the narcissist obsesses about you. They create you as a problem. And they do not leave you alone. They don't have a personal life. And so then, like I was going through now around some of these people that were like stalking around me at the festival, you should have heard that most of these people were like, I'm not saying all, but a good amount of them were like doing hard drugs. And I'll be honest, I'll partake in a little recreational inebriation here and there, but I would certainly never put anything that demonstrative in my, I'm sorry, that's not a word, just something that poisonous and just, there's fentanyl, there's just so much stuff. And so these people, these gang stalkers are all, look, it's very sad and pathetic, the state of consciousness they're in. And so I want to get into this now. Man, there's like some good wood smell, man, and ladies. Like this forest smells great. I think they're burning some mesquite over there or something. The campers. But anyways, kind of lost my track of thought there. I know I've been rambling. Speaking of inebriation, I'm having a coffee this morning because I had to get out of that camping thing. And I will say I did see some artists this weekend that were great. And I do appreciate art and people who create art. And that festival I was at, I love the whole thing, And it's sad. It's been around for like 25, 30 years. And like I said, now it's, there's gang stalkers in there. They're really turning it into some type of bad. It's sad, It's really sad. I felt like, what do you call it? I felt disenfranchised from it. Something I've been going to for so long because of all the hatred that's kind of infiltrated. So anyways, yeah, so they're going to obsess about you. They're going to create reasons to stalk you. They're probably all messed. Oh, and like, okay, that was my point. These people are like